Why Haaland will have a tough time in the EPL. Erling Haaland has finally arrived at Manchester City. But in addition to elation, there have been some voices of concern that have cast a shadow of doubt on Haaland's ability to keep up his performance in the Premier League. Hello and welcome to our channel Erling Braut Haaland Live. Today, we're going to talk about why Haaland might have a tough time in the EPL. But before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, hit the bell icon so that you can get instant updates about our videos. Erling Haaland will make his debut in the Premier League amidst much pomp, excitement, and anticipation. Yet, if he intends to make an immediate impression at Manchester City, he'll need to overcome a difficult obstacle first. Many people, including analysts, pundits, and players, have pointed out that the transition from the German Bundesliga to the Premier League is a significant one. Haaland has scored 83 goals in 87 matches for Borussia Dortmund in the German Bundesliga. Just ask Timo Werner, who scored 34 goals in his final season at RB Leipzig, but has only managed 23 goals in 2 seasons and 2 years at Chelsea. Obviously, Haaland has competed and succeeded against the very best. Although he scored 23 goals in 19 Champions League games, the unrelenting competition in the Premier League is what makes it such a difficult league to win. He has 19 games in which he's appeared. Even if perennial German champions Bayern Munich and Dortmund have the potential to be credible competitors for England's best teams, the quality of play in the German top division is not consistent throughout the entire league. And Haaland, in addition to having to adapt to a completely different style of play at City, will face the hardest competition of his career when the action begins on August 7th at the London Stadium against West Ham United. In his first year, Haaland will be confronted with 3 significant obstacles. The first is the playstyle problem. Talented young attackers who struggled to adapt to life after Germany litter the recent transfer landscape. Werner, Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic at Chelsea, Sancho at United, Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona and Luka Jovic at Real Madrid. All of those players, who are all from Borussia Dortmund, flourished against aggressive opposition in the open games of the Bundesliga, but they all found it much more difficult to find space when they were playing for powerful teams in other leagues. Because there's less room for forwarding players to attack and run into in the Premier League than there is in the Bundesliga, Chelsea scouts expressed reservations about whether Haaland's style of play would be suitable for the league, according to a report by ESPN. Show him a high line and he'll demonstrate his Zen goal celebration. Haaland's top sprint speed this season is barely below Alphonso Davies at 36.3 kilometers per hour. With a possession rate of 59% on average and a ball movement speed of just 1.48 meters per second, Dortmund is by no means a team that can counterattack. It is the slowest speed in the Bundesliga, but City's straight speed in the Premier League, which is a frigid 1.08 meters per second, puts it in the center of the pack. Guardiola prefers control over end-to-end games, and opponents are more likely to sit back than risk giving City space in the back when they're playing. This means that balls over the top are rarely an option, and Haaland will need to develop talents other than just outrunning people who are smaller and slower than him, i.e. everyone. Haaland's head, which is noticeably higher than most heads at 6 feet 4 inches, would be one way you imagine him helping to break down low blocks. Headers accounted for 19% of all goals scored by centre-forwards in the Premier League over the previous 5 seasons, with Man City accounting for 17% of those. Haaland's career rate is just 9 out of 88, or almost 10%. Although Haaland has improved this season in the air, and some of it can be attributed to the styles of the teams he's played for, there isn't much proof that putting a huge Scandinavian in the box will balance City's crossing game. Although his box moves are unearthly, his jumps are obviously not. Instead, the majority of Haaland's strengths are in areas where City excels currently, such as breaking down defenses in transition or timing his burst to convert a low, powerful cross in the 6-yard box. An optimist would assert that he fits the bill perfectly. Strikers are no longer required by teams for the same reasons. They're funding future objectives. In addition, it might be difficult to predict how many goals a player will score in the future based on how many he's already scored in the past. Ask Timo Werner, who at the age of 23 led RB Leipzig in non-penalty goals with 25, surpassing all 3,557 players in the top 5 leagues in 2019-20, with the exception of Robert Lewandowski. Werner's goals haven't only vanished since Chelsea won the battle to sign him that summer, they've also developed a moustache and entered witness protection. Werner's expected goals, XG, weren't as high as his goal figures back then, and they aren't as low either, to be fair. Shooters consistently create more opportunities than they convert on them, and one of the reasons XG exists is because it provides a more accurate indication of what a buying club actually wants, a future goal. This is unfortunate for Haaland, who has the opposite problem. He's scoring 36% more goals than an average shooter would be predicted to form the same opportunities, or 74 goals on 54.5 non-penalty XG in the Bundesliga and across Europe. When you see how Haaland treats the net's back as though it's mistreated his family in some way, it's simple to understand why model averages can't adequately capture the vengeful left foot of the player. This means the numbers you see right now might not be translated on the field. The third issue is that coming from Bundesliga, Haaland faces an uphill battle. As we mentioned earlier, the teams in the English Premier League are better, and scoring against them won't be easy, which means that Haaland's scoring ability might take a hit. Even old Manchester City legends have warned him about the challenges that come with the move. The Norwegian striker, who scored a mind-blowing 61 goals in 66 Bundesliga games, will succeed under Pep Guardiola, but he will need some time to adjust to his new surroundings, according to Sergio Aguero. Like me, Haaland will need time to acclimatise to England's and Pep's demands. He emphasised how crucial it was for Haaland to sign with the Premier League champions because of his outstanding goal-scoring abilities. A really significant signing is Haaland's. I consider his ability to score goals to be established. His statistics in the German league and around Europe support this. He also said that it makes sense that he would need some time to adjust to a league of the caliber of the Premier League, but I believe he will go through his own process and the results will become apparent quickly. An elite player like him, in my opinion, will be able to mesh his playing style with Pep's squads. It can take some time, as it did for me at first, but once he starts going, everything will be easier. Now, considering all of this, it doesn't necessarily mean that Haaland will not do well in the Premier League. We believe that the threat posed by Haaland is going to be more blatant. He's at his most lethal when there's space for him to burst into, and he delights in making runs past the final defender whenever possible. He has scored 61 goals in the Bundesliga, and 25 of those goals have come from circumstances in which he's run into space ahead of him to shoot. This accounts for 41% of his overall production as a goalscorer. Man City's quite good at getting into areas where they can deliver a continuous stream of low crosses or passes across the face of the goal, while Pep Guardiola is at the helm. This will be to Haaland's satisfaction, as he has a keen eye for tap-ins. Even though he has been better at heading the ball so far this season, the majority of his goals have come from getting on the end of low crosses from close range. In the box, he makes deft maneuvers and is strong enough to brush off opponents in order to bundle the ball home inside the 6-yard box. So, he is going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with, one which many Premier League teams won't be able to handle. So that is all the time we had today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and do hit the bell icon to remain updated about all our future videos. See you all next time.